My name is Condell and I'm a Director of Performance Boating here in Sydney. We're the Jeanneau agents, part of a network around the country. And this boat here is the new Jeanneau flagship 57. The first boat was launched in March of this year, and it replaces the 54 deck saloon, which is the most successful production yacht of its type ever produced. So Jeanneau have followed on from the 54 and its success and produced this new 57 footer. So we're going to take you through that progressively from stern to bow. The first thing to notice about it is obviously it's a large yacht, and one of the innovative things about it, and the designer Philip Briand, was to make this size of yacht manageable by a couple. So even 10 or 15 years ago, boats of this size generally had a skipper or some sort of professional crew on board, but the systems in place on this boat make it manageable to be sailed by a couple. All of the research that Jeanneau have done with the existing 54 owners tells them that their owners spend 90% of their time in the cockpit space of the boat. So what Briand has tried to do, and done very successfully I think, is to create a cockpit that's unmatched in any similar boat of its size, that actually opens through into the interior of the boat. So we'll take you into the cockpit space now. The cockpit space is as much about entertaining as it is about being an area from which to sail the yacht. So we've got a sun deck on the back here where people can lounge and relax. We've got a huge cockpit table with very large leaves so that you can sit a large number of people around. And then that doesn't interfere with the helm station, where the primaries are led back to the helm so that the helmsperson can sail the boat on their own. So it's quite possible to sail the boat single-handed. That's it. Woo! Very large opening companionway with double sliding doors. Opens that space through to the saloon area, and you'll see there's no clutches or winches or anything in the way in this space. It's all taken outboard so that it's easier for crew to do this and not interfere with people that are sitting in the cockpit out of the weather. All the systems on this boat are 24 volt. The reason for that is that it actually uses less power and has more power for items like electric winches. So all of the winches on the boat are electric, 2-speed Harkin self-tailors, rope bins here so all the ropes can be tidied out of the way easily. And one of the noticeable things about this design over the 54 is just how flat the deck is. It makes all of the deck space very usable. Another thing of note is just how much ventilation there is. There's a lot of opening hatches. We've got 4 here, right over the middle of the saloon, and all the way through forward there's multiple opening hatches. The mainsail is an in-mast furling mainsail. These are very, very popular in Europe, but have been slow to catch on in Australia. They make life extremely easy because the mainsail can be furled from the cockpit. There's no boom bag, no sail to gather into the boom bag at all. So anybody can retrieve the mainsail in a very short space of time. We've got a large Fachner furler here. Twin bow rollers so that your anchor can stay on its bow roller and you can pick up a mooring on the other side, which is a real plus. Very substantial bow rail, and the anchor winch is mounted on deck and has a remote back in the cockpit so that you can, one, measure the amount of chain that you've got out at any time, and you can operate the anchor from up and forward or back in the cockpit. What Briand has done is created a contemporary interior, but one of the things that he says he's passionate about is yachts being seaworthy. And one of the key elements that he believes is important in yachts is that the furniture is actually round and radiused, because at the end of the day it's got to behave well out at sea and you can't have any hard corners. So the interior finish is what's called fine teak. All the radiuses are a hardwood Myobi. It's very modern, very large hull windows so that you've got panoramic views when you're seated, and lots of light throughout the interior. So we've got occasional seating on the port side here with a drinks cabinet built in. We've got a very traditional galley, fully wrapped around, so very secure, lots of handholds, handrails. Here we've got a fridge which is both front opening and top loading. We've got a dedicated freezer. We've got a dishwasher built in, And we've also got an ice maker on this side here. So very, very functional galley, easily accessed from the cockpit for entertaining. And there's also storage below the floor with bin storage that's designed in there from the factory. Okay, so under the nav seat here we've got a built-in washer dryer integrated in and fully operable at sea or when you're at the marina. All of the battery banks on the yacht are actually located right over the keel. In the presentation from Beyond, when the design was launched, he said that what he wanted to do was create a yacht that has the best seakeeping ability of any yacht of its size. So all the tankage, all the batteries are all located centrally right over the keel. That opens up lots of storage space throughout the rest of the yacht for that reason. So under the center of the saloon here, we've got the tanks are built on either side. So we've got diesel and water tanks all centrally located over the boat. And then under the saloon floor here we've actually got access to all of the pumps for bilge pumps and the pressure water system and all the valves for the tanks. So everything is very, very easily accessed for service and maintenance. Okay, so we're in front of the mast on the yacht here, and what Jeanneau have done is they've created a space that can actually be converted. So where I'm standing, we can very simply put in a divider, which is stored under the bunk here. But in this setup, we've got a large guest cabin which has a lounge to one side and a large double on the other. Or we can put the divider in here and create bunk beds on this side separated into two separate cabins. Okay, so we're now in the owner's cabin aft. The first thing to note is when we come through the doorway is a very large hanging locker. So substantial hanging locker space and lots of other locker space throughout the cabin. We've got a vanity unit here, built in with your air conditioning controls over here. Very large queen size bed with full sitting up headroom. And behind the cameraman we've got the ensuite head and a dedicated shower cubicle adjacent to that.